once again to Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams. Senior Focus is a show designed for adults over the age of about 60 or so, and we come to you a couple times a month through Channel 20 and 100 on Armstrong Cable. Thank you very much to Greg Roten, who produces the show and makes sure that you get to see it. If you miss the show, it's on demand on Armstrong and also on YouTube. You could just go on and type in Senior Focus. Today we're going to be talking with folks from the SCORE volunteer group. SCORE helps new businesses, and I'm going to introduce folks as you look from your right to left. So it's Mr. Chuck Whitman, Janet Moy, and then we have two folks who are brand new business owners, and they're starting up. It's Devine Smith and Mr. Howard Mitchell. Welcome to everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
Why don't we start with you, Janet?
Okay.
And if you could talk a little bit about SCORE, what it is, and some of the history.
I'd be happy to. SCORE is a partner with the Small Business Administration. We like to say we're the volunteer branch of the Small Business Administration. We are currently here in Youngstown. We're 30 retired business people who mentor startups or people who've been in business. And SCORE actually got its start as an organization 50 years ago and became a national organization. And it was founded on the campus of YSU actually in 1965. And we still have one mentor today who is with us, and that's Dr. Terry Dietrich. And at the time it was formed on campus, he was chairman of the marketing department.
Okay.
Yes.
And if people are interested in contacting you, where's a good start for them?
They can go online and they can type in score.org and then select a city and state, and they can apply that way. And then we'll give them a call and ask when they would like to come in, and we'll mentor. And, and I'd like to add that there's a lot of organizations that help small business people, but how we are really different from other organizations is we mentor our clients, which means they don't just come in one time and then we release them. They can come back as often as they like, and we'll review their progress and hope we get them onto a road to success.
And just you personally, what is it that attracted you to want to work with SCORE?
Well, I grew up in a business-oriented family. So my mother had owned a hardware store, actually. And when I was a youngster, then she took me to work with her, and I learned the whole routine. Then I went off to college. I became a librarian, and I worked here for the Youngstown Public Library System for a long time and was head of the Science and Industry Department, which was the business department. It's now called the Business Investment Center.
Okay.
And so I really enjoyed doing that. And one day a gentleman from SCORE came over and told me about SCORE, and I mentioned we had all these amazing reference sources that could help their clients. And so that jump-started our partnership with the public library and SCORE. So I became a SCORE member and kept that membership.
Yeah, and maybe we could go into a little bit later on what some of the library materials are, but that's great.
Okay.
We're at a library, we're at the Canfield Library today, so it's great that all these resources that people might not know about are available. At this point, Mr. Whitman, would you talk a little bit about your background and maybe how you got involved in SCORE?
I was born and raised in a small grocery store, mom and pop type, south side of Youngstown. And didn't get my degree until I was 40 years old. And I started teaching at Boardman for 6 years, and then I went up to YSU for 19 years as Director of Career Services. Okay. So I was involved in job placement and so forth all along the way, and I had a small business background. And I met Bert Lazarus and Sid Klein, and they conned me into joining SCORE, and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is, you've stuck around, so what is it about the program that you really enjoy the most?
Helping others. When they come in, they don't know too much about business, some of them.
Right.
We get all kinds. Those who want to start a business, those who are in business and are having troubles, or those who are in business who are going gangbusters and they don't know how to get out of the mom and pop and into big business. And so we help along the way.
Why don't we at this point introduce a couple business owners, new owners in the Youngstown area. Devine, would you mention, your product and your business and sort of what you do?
Yes. Once again, my name is Devine Smith. I own a catering company called Desi's Comfort. I met Miss Janet at a women's expo in August, and I've been cooking all my life, but I knew nothing about the business. And I met her and set up an appointment, and Miss Janet has taught me everything that is about business, from social media to marketing, everything that you can think of. That cooking is just not the only thing when you want to run a business. And I wanted to get a food truck, and I wanted to do catering at the time. And I came in again and met Miss Janet and Mr. Roth and another gentleman, and they taught me how to double my numbers as far as, selling dinners was concerned, and I did that. I never would have thought that I would have been doing my catering business as soon as I have been. I love cooking. The reason why I do it is they enjoy, my food, and I'm just happy that I'm blessing other people. I feed the homeless, the elderly, whatever age bracket it is, and my catering business has really taken off pretty well so far.
Wow. And how long has this been going?
It's only been going on for 8 months.
Wow. Okay.
8 months, yes,
And
sir.
so is this your first business that you'd ever started up?
Yes, it's my first business. I was selling garments with a company called Artists International, but this is my first business, my own business, yes, my baby, yes.
And if, Mr. Mitchell, would you describe your business, the name of your business, and what you do?
Yes, my business is Fatback's Famous Barbecue Sauce, and I started this, how I started is I had a dream and a vision that the Lord had gave me back in 2001, and I cooked at local farmers market, churches, and your kitchen incubator, and my business is
Yeah, basically, you have taken the sauce that you've been making for years, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been
yes,
doing
I've
this on the side?
Everything
Or?
off and on the side. I've been doing it, and just things selling at our church, making thing profit for our church.
Okay. And so you worked with SCORE then the last few months, or about how long?
Well, I've been with SCORE off and on about 3 years. I was working with Don Matthews, and then I had met Miss Janet Moore this year through Devine. So she's been helping me. I think with SCORE, it's a blessing to have these people just to be there to help us be successful inside our business.
Well, this points out, and again, we're talking about food-oriented businesses. I know,
Yes.
Janet, you wanted to talk about, there's some new things with SCORE
Yes.
with food-related.
Well, we're really very excited. I saw an opportunity through SCORE National to write a grant, and it was a $5,000 grant, and they were only awarding 60 of these grants. Mm-hmm. So I approached our chair, Frank Bordenaro, and I said, I've been going to these farmers markets all summer, and I see where they're really lacking in maybe some of the business aspects to become more successful. I said, how about if we write a grant targeting these farmers markets, and we'll see what happens. Well, lo and behold, we got the $5,000 grant.
Oh, good.
And there were over 200 some applications, so we felt pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
So the farmers market grant will have some specific goals. It's to bring programs to the vendors, teach them maybe some business skills so they can become maybe more successful in areas they may not have thought about, and we will mentor them if they would like us to. We'll present different programs, and we're partnering with the public library here to present these programs. So we'll have reference materials to hand out to them when they come. And we have a 5-county area that we have to do this in.
Oh, okay.
Because SCORE Youngstown services 5 counties. We have Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana, and 2 in Pennsylvania, Lawrence and Mercer County.
All right.
So we have quite a big district to work with.
Mm-hmm. So if people are interested in coming to some of the library events,
Yes.
I'm sure obviously the library will have that listed, but
Yes.
can people go on a local SCORE website? Or,
Yes, they can go on the SCORE website. They can also go on the library website and look under business services, and they will see all the programs that we're partnering with the library, and the library has some themselves. And the business librarian is Stuart Gibbs. He's also a SCORE volunteer. And Stuart has a wonderful program called Book a Librarian. So when we have a client with SCORE that we feel can really use the library and Stuart's expertise, we send them to him, and he will sit down with them for an hour and help them with their business questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have either of you been able to use the library at all at this point? Are you basically working with the SCORE volunteers, or how is that?
Still working with SCORE, no matter what. I don't think that I've gotten too big for my shoes. Ms. Janet still helps me with anything that I need. And I have been at the library. Stuart Gibbs has been helping me as well. And in between that, with the incubator, the kitchen incubator, the Commonwealth Kitchen Incubator.
Is that on Elm Street?
Yes,
Yeah,
on
okay.
Elm Street, because there's 2 of them. It's the Common Kitchen Incubator on Elm Street has been tremendous. I've drove on Elm Street every day and never even knew that it existed. And they have so much to offer. They have a huge conventional commercial kitchen for bakers and for people to have their own product that they want to produce, and for catering. And it has just been truly a blessing for I, as well as Howard and other people that have been there. Yes, yes.
I was going to ask, Howard, have you been also to the incubator? And then how about the farmer's market too? Have you worked with that?
Yes, sir. I've been with the farmer's market for like 6 years. Only thing off and on selling, I was selling barbecue chicken and rib dinners, and thing also I've been with the Commonwealth Incubator. And I'm waiting until May and till I can start bottling my sauces there.
Mm-hmm. And how many, just as a bigger question, I guess, for SCORE, but do you have any idea of how many businesses in a year you might interact with? I don't know, either of you. Is it in the, is it up to 50, or is it that many?
Well, we have Monday through Friday teams. So my day to go in is on Thursday. And I would say almost every Thursday of the month, I'm meeting with different businesses.
Okay.
So I would say in one given year, myself personally, I probably work with at least 20 to 30 different businesses.
Right, and that's just you.
That's just me.
And again, you have 30 volunteers in
Yes,
groups, right?
and lately I've been doing it alone because we also have snowbirds. And so I would like to say, if anyone out there is interested in the retired or not retired, they would like to be a business mentor, we are looking for volunteers to join SCORE.
Mr. Whitman, could you address that maybe about if people were out there and they have run a business, or they're maybe semi-retired, I guess, or fully retired, any advice you can give to people about why they might want to join and become a mentor, or what is some of the training maybe that do you folks sort of take in new mentors and mentor them?
Oh, yes, we do.
And our team concept is, I think, wonderful. We are one of the very few in the whole country. There are over 300 chapters of SCORE in in the United States, in the country. And the intrinsic value of helping people like the folks here are untold. I mean, I've heard too many retired people, when they retire, oh, I haven't got anything to do, you know. And this is such a wonderful thing, and you're using your expertise, you're handing it back to the community more or less, and helping economic development is what you're doing.
Right, and again, some of the benefits, I mean, I'm just guessing, is just simply, you know, when you have more business and you have more people working at their own business, you have more taxes being paid.
That's right. It helps the
Everything, you know,
community.
everything is improved when you have more taxes coming in to pay for the library,
It's truly,
to
Right,
pay for,
right.
you know.
truly economic development
Yeah.
for the community.
Yeah.
I'd like to mention,
Go ahead.
because Devine had mentioned the kitchen incubator.
Sure.
With this food project that we have, the kitchen incubator is one of our partners to help promote this project and bring it to fruition. And Mr. Tom Fims is the manager of the kitchen incubator. I have one of their flyers here. You could see this.
Sure.
And they have cooking classes there, and the library's going to start, the SCORE is going to work with the kitchen incubator. The library's going to provide programs for their clients at the kitchen incubator.
Okay.
So-
Now, let's talk maybe some of the specifics. I'm just, you know, just from looking at the SCORE website nationally, but again, I'm also just guessing. If I'm a brand-new business owner, and I'm not, but so this would be new to me. I mean, if I were to start my own business, I'd have to come to somebody like you. So you're going to talk about, I guess, what, marketing, finances?
Finances.
Can you describe, some of the things you talk about and what you go into?
Well, we have tons of resources to help you in our own office right there, plus the library. We're always referring them to Stuart Gibbs over to the library because they have a wonderful business program, and demographics and so forth, so you know what you're getting into, how much competition, how many people that would be interested in what your product is or your business or service.
Right, how to find your customers.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
what is the market? Is this the right place?
Right.
And of course, we help them with finding a decent, good location. In real estate, they'll always talk about location, location, location. Well, in business, it's the same thing. It is all important.
And another thing in location nowadays is online, I guess. So have either of you branched out into that with some kind of like a Facebook or some
Yes,
website?
Yes, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, yes. And it's been a big help. It's brought me customers that I didn't even know, you know, what, and they're, oh, we heard about you on Facebook, we heard about you on Twitter, on Little, and I'm like, wow, yeah, yes.
What about a business plan?
Yes.
You want to talk about that maybe, Janet?
Okay, first thing that when a person comes in, sometimes they just have an idea. We ask them, well, do you have experience doing, this kind of work? And from there, then we launch into the components of the business plan, the background, the history, their experience, the demographics, as Chuck mentioned, and the finances is a very important part. Sometimes they need to go for a loan. Some don't need to go to a loan. If they do need to go for a loan, then that opens up another door and many more questions. Yes.
Well, speaking of loans, if I've read correctly, I believe the city of Youngstown will actually send people to the SCORE office because
Yes.
there's funding through the city.
Yes, there's a brand-new collaborative between the City of Youngstown, SCORE, and also the public library. And they are requesting that people interested in getting a loan through the city come to SCORE for counseling and to the library to make them more successful once they get the loan.
Howard, I was just thinking, have you, you mentioned you've talked to Devine before, or you know her, and have you talked to other business owners or other people involved with SCORE, the people like you that are starting out?
Maybe a few.
What's, have you shared anything, like, you've talked with Devine about getting started. Have you shared ideas about, maybe how to start up a business, or?
Well, everything I was taught, I learned it from Miss Janet. She's teach me how to be a patient to be patient and to learn how to wait, not go and make any financial mistakes. Just to be, her goal is to make me successful.
Right, right. And where exactly are you both working out of again? Are you at home, or do you have your own?
I'm actually working out of the kitchen incubator.
You're at the incubator.
I'm doing all my
okay.
catering. I'm out of there and selling my dinners. They actually built a window because when I wanted to sell dinners, it wasn't safe, for the public because, like I said, it's a commercial facility
Right.
with all the machines and equipment. But Pat Rosenthal, she's the owner of it, and I sat down and spoke with her about my vision about selling the dinners in there, and then 2 days later, they had actually built a pickup window so now the people can call and order and just come to the window and pick it up, so they can pick it up at the kitchen incubator now. Yes.
So you're doing that how many days a week?
I'm doing it twice a week now. I was doing it a little bit more, but I didn't think that my catering was going to come off so quick as it has. So I'm doing Wednesdays and Fridays, every other Wednesdays and Fridays at the kitchen incubator.
Now, you mentioned the catering. You must have other staff with you or other people?
Yes, now I do. At first it was just me and another young lady, but now I've actually had to hire staff because I've gotten actual contracts with bigger companies now. So yeah, I have a staff now.
Well, and that goes back again to the economic development. It's not just one person starting, but the hope is eventually they're going to hire several people. Well, if we could, I know on the webpage there was some discussion of some other businesses. If you just want to mention a couple of the ones that
Sure.
have been up and running for a while.
Our chair, Frank Bordenaro, worked with the Amish people on South Avenue. They opened up the
Valley Market.
Valley Marketplace. I have to look real quick. Yeah, the Valley Marketplace, so that's one. And then Dar's Dirty Dogs, which is a dog grooming facility.
Okay.
They were one of our clients, very successful. And we've had some other, we had a doll making business, which became very successful too.
And then we had some women with purses, and they were really beautiful.
They made their own purses?
Yes, south of here. And it's so important to have a good marketing plan because you got to have a good product, but if people don't know about it, you're not going to sell it.
Right.
But the internet has made fantastic opportunities for home businesses and perhaps for handicapped people who can't get out on the road and so forth and have a home business, and using the internet is unlimited opportunities.
Yeah, you think maybe even 30, 40 years ago, or even less time than that, in the past you had to have the place, you had to go out in the community. Storefront, you had to, have the money maybe to pay for advertising, where again, as we've been talking, the internet opens that up to word of mouth a lot more.
And then we put on seminars also, starting your own business in conjunction with the library and so forth.
What are there some things coming up again, maybe later in the spring or the summer?
Yes, we feature Sophia Buggs, who is an urban farmer, and she's done classes at the Kitchen Incubator and also at the library. She talks about small business success, growing food, cooking, fermentation, and the public can check the public library brochure, their news item about when these programs are happening. And like Chuck said, we have continuous programs on startup business. And they're listed in the library, on the library's website, and also ours.
And again, if people are interested in becoming a volunteer mentor, what's their first stop? Where is there a phone number they call?
There is a phone number.
Okay.
Do we have it?
I'm not so sure. It's 941, which is the Youngstown, YSU's area.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
Didn't
they can go online
Yeah,
to score.org, and they can find our Youngstown website right there.
Okay, and I do have some of this. Actually, I have it here. I'm sorry. It's 330-941 2948. That's
That's it,
941.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2948. And it's Youngstown SCORE. And again, SCORE has been around for 50 years. And I guess, so Youngstown was one of the, it was. has
One of
been
the first.
One of the first, yeah.
They established it nationally in 64, and we started in 65 then, so.
And if people are interested, maybe we just turn to folks who have been working with SCORE. Do you have any, again, suggestions for new business owners, either Howard or Devine? What would you suggest they do if you got an idea out there and you want to start up a business? What would you suggest?
Sending them to SCORE. When I met Howard at the Kitchen Incubator, we were doing a NOMA event, and he already knew about SCORE, but I was telling him about Miss Janet and went more into detail about what SCORE had to offer. And anyone that I know that has a small business, I let them know, and I send them right to Miss Janet. That that's the first thing you gotta get your business together. It's not all about what you're doing. You have to know the business to be able to be successful.
Right.
Yes.
And I would think that the finances, to me, would be very important.
Yes.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll come in with a plan and so forth and really not have much of a plan. And we will have to perhaps rain on their parade a little bit. We try and be gentle.
Yeah.
But it's their money. They've worked hard for it and saved it. Now they're investing it. I remember one time a couple came in and it was big bucks. And they were going to enter it into a restaurant that I just knew was doomed to failure. And so we counted it as success if we saved them from losing their bucks.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, certainly before anybody signs a contract or gets involved in renting space. I mean, I'm sure, I would want to talk to somebody who
Look
could
it
look it
over,
over.
what do you think of this, that's very important. Second opinion.
Yeah. How about, is there software that training on, like, again, I'm thinking of computer software on accounting and keeping track of the finances?
If they go to the score.org website, there are so many training manuals, webinars that the general public can take, and it's all free. There's templates for helping you write a business plan. Lots of information available.
Okay, so it's almost like, it sounds like what we've been talking about is almost a college course in how to run a business, but for free.
For free, exactly.
Price is right.
So and again, it's like anything else. I mean, the more time you put into it and the more dedication, the more you're going to learn, and it'll help you, I guess, in the long run. Well, again, we've been talking with Mr. Chuck Whitman, Miss Janet Moy, I'm sorry, and Devine Smith and Mr. Howard Mitchell, and they are new business owners in the community. And again, just if you want to just mention the name of your business.
The name of my business is Desi's Comfort. It's a catering business, and I sell basically like Meals on Wheels.
And Mr. Mitchell?
My company name is Fatback's Famous Barbecue Sauce. It's coming out in the beginning of May.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming on. And again, you've been watching Senior Focus. I'm your host, Bill Adams, and we come to you a couple times each month on Armstrong Channel 20 and 100. Thank you to Greg Roten, who puts the show on the air. If you missed any of the show, you can check YouTube. Just type in Senior Focus in the search box, and you'll find us there. Until next time, thank you for watching.